Guys, so we are back for another DIY experiment, potential failure, because it wouldn't be one of my DIYs if it wasn't unpracticed and potentially about to go wrong. So today we're going to be attempting DIY scar wax for special effects makeup. I figured this would be a good time to do this because it's Halloween a week tomorrow, and if I do it next week it'll be a little bit too late. So most of the recipes online call for Vaseline. I don't have very much left. I thought I had more, but this is what we're working with. And then flour. But then what happens is you put it on your skin and you have to try and blend it into the rest of your skin tone and cover it with foundation. So I thought, why don't we experiment and see if you can do it with powder foundation? So there is already sort of that correct tone and it'll just be easier to blend. So let's see if this works. So this is actually an old Bare Minerals powder tinted sunscreen. Probably too old to actually provide any sun protection, so I figured it would be good to use up for this. And I'm back to my trusty toothpick instead of the spatula, even though I have my spatula out, because it just doesn't make as many unpleasant scraping noises when you're mixing. So you basically want to add enough powder to bring this to a consistency where it's dry, you can handle it and you can mould it. So personally, if I made scar wax with flour, I'm going to be honest, I would probably be fine for blending it into my skin because I am super duper pasty anyway. But I have seen people who are darker skinned trying to blend over this and colour it with their foundation, and I just thought this seemed a much easier solution. So I'm just adding this a bit at a time because I don't want to get it too dry where I can't mould it, and I want to make sure that it's nice and evenly mixed. And I think I definitely need quite a bit more powder because that's definitely much wetter than I could handle and mould and expect to keep its shape. So scar wax is fun, you can do so many things with it. To be honest, I used to just use my dual lash adhesive and just, you know, layer it on there. Mould it around a bit with a pair of tweezers. I find tweezers are actually a really great moulding tool because you've got that sharp end but also the kind of round handle end. It's quite good for scooping and gouging and all the other things you want to do when you're moulding scars and other things. So my favourite one I ever did was I went as a partially rotting zombie one year. But I wasn't going to an adult's Halloween party, I was just going to my work, and there was a little girl that came into the shop and she freaked out, started crying and tried to climb up her dad to escape, so I felt a little bit bad. So basically I'd done like open sores across my face, split lip across my eye, and I'd done an infected bite mark on my arm. Because depending on which zombie franchise you're watching, you get bitten to be infected. So I had a bite with lots of black track marks running out from it to show the infection running through my bloodstream, and possibly not great for being around children. So this is taking a lot more powder product than I'd thought, so I'm going to come back once I've got this sorted because you guys do not want to sit and infinitely watch me pour this out. Okay, so we are done and we have our wax. Now I switched from using the toothpick to using the spatula partway through, and then when it was dry enough I've actually just taken it out so that I can knead it like traditional dough. Now it turns out that Vaseline makes that powder look even darker than it normally is, so I did have to go in with flour, but I have now made something that was much easier to blend into my skin, and I've just finished off the middle with some gel food colouring and some red liquid lipstick, and I used a little bit of PVA to give it that kind of glossy infected-y kind of look. It's also good if you have some purple and kind of yellowy, dirty green, brown eyeshadows to make some bruising around any wounds that you do. Definitely not shimmer eyeshadows in case that needed to be mentioned. But yeah, I'm relatively happy with how that turned out, just for kind of making it from stuff that you have around the house. And I am going to go and see what other fun things I can make. If you do make anything with this, please let me know. Please share pictures with me. I'll share my Twitter is just Angel and Fishnets actually, so if you tag me on there with any pictures, then I can come and have a look. I would love to see what you do with this. So, bye guys!